Well, folks, Spidey's back tonight. Can you believe it? After about a week layoff. Of course, I've been letting my chair be used by Michael Myers and, the Joker now. What do you think about his webcasts? They're improving. I like the one from last night where he reviewed the first Batman movie. Pretty cool. Anyway, this webcast is dedicated to Kara and Maddie. They just don't get it, and they never will. Okay, Spidey's a little tipsy tonight. He's basically been drinking too many of these wine coolers. So I'm a little loose. My lips are flapping 100 miles per hour. I'm kind of like out there a little bit. you know? Oh God, I was on assignment today. As I can't tell you who I am. Taking photographs in Minneapolis and stuff like that. Just working for my newspaper and stuff like that. So basically, I've been working for the last week or so, so I can't be here every single night. So I let the studio be used by these nincompoops, Pennywise and Leatherhead and the Joker now, and of course Michael, the idiot Myers, and so basically I'm back tonight, but we're going to talk about a very special movie of mine. I know this movie is dated to a lot of people, and it's a different comic book company. Of course, I'm from Marvel, and it's from DC, of course. We're going to talk about the very first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, released in 1978. Now, as everybody knows, Christopher Reeve, unfortunately, was paralyzed in a horse riding accident a long time ago. Then he eventually passed away, maybe about 8 years ago, or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly the date. A very sad moment in Hollywood history. He was a good guy, and good looking. He probably would have gone on to do, quite a bit more roles for the movie industry and stuff like that. So, but we're going to talk about the very first movie, and this is actually a 3-disc set. It has Superman the movie, it has Superman 2, and Batman or Superman Returns. We'll talk about the second two. We're going to talk about the first movie. This has Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. It has Ned Beatty as his bumbling assistant. Margot Kidder basically as Lois Lane. It has Glen Ford here too. Gene Hackman, of course, is in here. I already said that. What am I doing? Spidey, you gotta stop drinking. No. Glen Ford plays his father, of course, in this movie. I was a big fan of Glen Ford growing up. A lot of you probably have no idea who I'm talking about. Did a lot of westerns and this stuff in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. He probably was in about 100 movies. But enough with Glen Ford. Another one of my idols. And basically, it has a good cast. Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. Oh, let's start this all over again. Okay, Christopher Reeve as Superman. Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. Let's see who else. Who plays Perry White in this movie? Jackie Cooper. He used to be in the Little Rascals way back in the 30s and the 40s. A lot of you probably don't even, not a clue what I'm talking about. Well, a lot of you might realize what I'm talking about. He plays Perry White. And, of course, Glen Ford plays, like I said before, he plays Christopher Reeve's father when he first started growing up, when he came to Earth and stuff like that. So basically, to me, it's a really cool movie. The special effects are dated, of course, and I don't want to compare this movie with the movies of now, of course, because of all the digital effects and practical effects and everything, because they're quite a bit superior. Let's see who else is in this movie. Oh yeah, I can't. Oh, forget about it. I won't even mention that. That's in the second movie. General Zod, whatever his name is. But Christopher Reeve to me was a very special. I idolized him when he was Superman and stuff. I think as a young man, much younger, I watched those movies and stuff, and you kind of like wanted to be Superman. You wanted to save the planet. You came from Krypton. You had the powers and stuff like that, and he was a very special. I think he has a special place in everybody's heart, in Hollywood and around the world, because he ended up, you know, you know, he had a tragic life basically, you know, and it was very sad because Christopher Reeve was a pretty cool guy, you know. He seemed like he had a good, you know, he was intelligent, good looking, warm. He cared about things, you know, and basically I think everybody kind of liked Christopher Reeve, you know. And if anybody trashes Christopher Reeve, you're gonna have to answer to me personally because I think that this man should be. He's in a shrine of his own, you know, and it's sad that all these new movies keep coming out, you know, and they always should dedicate these movies to Christopher Reeve because he's the one that really started these movies. I'm not talking about George Reeves in the 1950s type Superman TV show. You know, he was cool too. But, you know, I'm talking mainly about Christopher Reeve here. You know, he did something very special for the youth of the world. He basically, he was somebody to look up to. He was somebody that you could idolize. He was somebody that you could aspire to be like, you know, and it's very sad that what happened to him, you know. But you know, this movie is actually pretty good. You know, I mean, it's a pretty basic standard story. You know, he comes to Earth, you know, Glen Ford, and I can't remember who plays Glen Ford's wife in this movie. He's got his stepfather and stepmother, you know, because they adopted him basically because, you know, he came from Krypton. So basically, people, you know, he's an alien basically, you know, but he looks like us, you know, but he has superpowers, of course. And of course, Marlon Brando is in this movie too, if I'm correct. He plays his father on Krypton. I always like Marlon Brando. I think he did a pretty good job in this movie. And yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, you know, like I said, this is the Blu-ray version. It doesn't really add to the movie at all because it's a 1978 release. So basically, the movie is visually it's dated, but you know it still has some cool special effects, especially you know when he's saving Lois Lane and stuff, you know, and the Eiffel Tower. I think he saves her in this movie, doesn't he? I don't know exactly, but of course we got Superman 2. You know the Richard Donner. Of course, Richard Donner directed these movies. You know, he is the one who did all the Superman movies back in the late 70s, all through the 80s. And I think, you know, he had a vision for Superman, you know, you know, to basically, you know, he was fighting for justice and stuff, Superman, and trying to help mankind, you know, get out of its current dilemma. Of course, it never did. It's still screwed up as all hell. It's even worse. Unfortunately, it's worse. You know, man never learns, you know. I learn, of course, but, you know, Spidey is, you know, is pretty cool. Spidey actually is a you know, he really idolizes Superman, you know, as much as they are from two different worlds in the comic book realm. He basically likes Superman, especially George Reeves. You know, the new Superman's okay. I can't think of his name, actually. The guy he's going to be in Superman versus Batman, you know, and he did the other new Superman movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, which was a decent movie. But, you know, this movie has a special place in my heart. At least these 4 movies. You know, I just kind of think that these movies have been overlooked because of all the technologies since these movies came out in the 80s and stuff. Of course, you know, technology marches on, you know, basically. So, you know, things are going to keep getting better and better with all the visuals coming out, you know, with CGI and motion capture and all that kind of stuff. And practical effects, of course, have gotten much better, you know. But I really think that this is actually a pretty darn good movie. I think everybody should watch this movie at least one time, you know. And just try to remember who Christopher Reeve was, you know. And same with George Reeves back in the 50s, you know, the people who actually really started the movies and the television show type, you know, Superman roles. And yeah, I think I'm going to cry. Oh my God. Spidey's getting a little emotional here. I am. Oh. But anyway, let's talk about this a couple of minutes ago. Let's just talk about other things right now. Let's talk about this studio. You know, we got some new stuff coming in, and Oh, why am I talking about the studio? I should be talking about Superman. Like I said, my main. I like Batman really because Batman is dark and creepy and gothic and atmospheric type stuff. But if you want somebody to aspire to, other than Batman, I think have to be Superman. At least Christopher Reeve's versions. He was. Oh, Perry White. Yeah, Perry White. Yeah, I like Perry White too. I like Margot Kidder. I loved Jackie Cooper, Glen Ford, Marlon Brando. All the stars of this particular movie were, they were okay. I mean, they played the roles exactly where they had to be played. They weren't exactly Academy Award winning type performances, but they told you a story of somebody that comes to our planet and tries to help us, in our time of need, because if you think about it, our planet is really screwed up, folks. That's why there's superheroes like me and DC comic superheroes and Marvel superheroes. And God, do you think I'm looking really good tonight? Nice and trim and sexy. But anyway, yeah, we're here to protect you. We're here to help you. We're trying to get mankind back on track. Whether it's DC Comics, Marvel Comics, or whatever other comic companies are out there trying to put out, movies and TV shows and stuff like that. We're here to entertain you. We're here to protect you. We're here to save you and try to help the planet get back on a straight course, because the planet is basically screwed up. I don't mean to preach. I'm not trying to preach to people. Maybe people are going to assume that and, give the thumbs down on this particular video, which I don't care. That's your problem. When you want to do that, do that. You can comment in the box below. Comments are always welcome, bad or good, pro or con. I'm doing a lot of hand crap tonight. Look at my fingers. Let's do my famous Spidey thing. Yeah, so I don't know, oh God. This could be a fairly short video. It's only up to about 13 minutes. Let's talk about the second movie a little bit too, Superman, the Richard Donner cut. That has General Zod in it and has a bunch of other people. The three idiots that come to Earth and because they've been, yeah, forget about that movie. We'll do that another time. I think this one is basically the first one. It has a special, like I said, special place in my heart. We need somebody like Superman. That's why you need people like us on Earth. You truly do, because you people are screwed up. I mean, face it, man. Wars, phantom, starvation, man's inhumanity towards man, vicious people, murders, all that kind of crap, We're here to protect you. We're here to try to prevent that kind of stuff. But, I think we're unappreciated, people like myself, Spider-Man. And it's kind of a sad statement that I have to sit here and preach, You people need to pick it up. You need to go out there and be good citizens, I shouldn't have to tell you that, seriously. There's a difference between right and wrong. You should know that as you're growing up, no matter what kind of a situation that you had as a child growing up in your household, good or bad, you should know the difference between right and wrong. It's that simple. Good and evil. Doing the right thing, helping your fellow citizen, being a productive citizen. Things like that are very important in life. Spider-Man basically I had a basic upbringing with my parents and stuff, and they taught me certain values and, being responsible and basically, trying to lead a productive life, in which I have, So I basically, a lot of people always complain that, that their upbringing caused them to be the way they are. It's not your upbringing. It's all in your head, Do you want to be a good person? Do you want to be a bad person? Do you want to just toe the line? Or do you want to step above the line and try to help people? That's what I've done all my life, Do What you don't even know about me is I'm also an accomplished artist. I do a lot of things besides my Spider-Man stuff, you know, saving Minneapolis and stuff like that, and you know, fighting all the evil slime bags out there like Venom and Sandman and you know all those people. Gobby, the Green Goblin, whatever you want to call that idiot-looking jester on a bike. You know, I think for me, this is really what I wanted to do. When I was growing up, I used to draw comics and stuff before I get bit by the radioactive spider. You know, I used to draw comics and stuff, and I used to basically idolize all the superheroes, no matter what comic book company put them out. You know, I was always a big superhero fan. I even like the villains too, the super villains, because you got to have super villains to complement the superheroes. Otherwise, it'd be just born with people like us. You know, there'd be nobody to go after, and of course they come after us, and they want to cause, you know, mayhem and you know destruction and all that kind of crap, and you know, heartbreak and despair, the villains, and there's got to be people like me to counter that and all the other superheroes. So that's why it's fun for me. And like I said, when I grew up, I was a serious comic book fan. Of course, I had hundreds and hundreds of comic books growing up, and I used to basically draw comics. You know, I used to go to the art store and pick up colored pencils and all that kind of stuff, and you know, emulate buy my comic books and emulate all these superheroes and villains. You know, in my draw them and stuff like. Try to make them as realistic as I could. Not bad for a teenage kid. You know, before of course I got bit, then I actually had to become a superhero, which actually has its benefits. You know, the women love me, you know, and you know I'm a nice guy, but I'm very unappreciated, you know, and I can accept that, you know. Some people just don't have the foresight to see stuff like that. You know, they just basically go through their life doing the same stuff left and right, and they're basically not trying to help their fellow neighbors, not trying to help the situation in the world, you know. They're basically kind of just treading water. That's a good description of it. You people, and you know who you are, you know? I mean, I've done a lot of stuff in my life, and I basically am very proud of where I've landed, basically, and what stuff I've done in the past. You know, I've made a difference, and I basically, for the lives of millions of people, I've made the difference for the lives of a million people. Millions of people, I should say millions of people. I gotta stop drinking before these webcasts because I could fumble my words, so excuse any typos. Well, I think I'm doing pretty good. But anyway, back to Christopher Reeve. Now, this is a man, Superman, that thought the same way as I do, you know, about the situation in the world, the state of the world, stuff like that. And the world, like I said, is completely screwed up. And everybody needs people to idolize and people to look up to. So basically, that's why I mentioned Christopher Reeve tonight, because he was a very special individual, you know, and you know, and it's sad that he's gone. And unfortunately, like I said, he had a tragic life after, you know, after the accident and stuff. But you know, he's a good guy. So am I. But anyway, oh, God, man, see, I'm not trying to be mean or cocky towards anybody. I'm just trying to open your eyes about what you can accomplish in life. You know, like I said before, I've done a lot of interesting things before I got bit by this spider. You know, and I'm basically a self-made man, self-made spider, I should say, Spider-Man, maybe a half spider, half man, whatever you want to call me, whatever you consider me, a mutant or whatever. You know, I'm basically a pretty cool guy, very cool guy. You know, I have visions, you know, about what I need to do in my life to accomplish things, to help people, to, you know, like I've already rambled on about, you know, and stuff like that. And I just think I'm probably boring the hell out of you guys. What the hell is this guy talking about, man? He's supposed to be reviewing movies, and he's only reviewed a movie maybe 8 minutes out of the whole 25 minutes so far. You know, I'm just trying to make you understand what you need to do in life. You know, you got to put aside the petty grievances, the hatred, you know, stuff like that. You've got to strive forward. You got to go forward. You got to basically try to be something in your life. This is what's really important. You know, a lot of people, like I said before, they complain that their parents were bad to them and stuff like that. So they're all fucked up. So basically, but you know, I straightened myself out. You know, I became this and an artist and all kinds of cool stuff. You know, and I basically am very proud of what I've done in my life. You know, and a lot of people can't say that kind of stuff that I've done, you know, because have actually accomplished this stuff. I won't go into detail what I've accomplished, but you know, I have accomplished a lot. Oh God. Oh, this is pretty cool, man. I'm kind of like just gently venting tonight, ranting tonight. Nothing really serious, just trying to make you people open your eyes, you know, to the situation around you, the situation that you're involved in. Always a better choice, folks. There's always a better choice, you know, in life. You really need to open your eyes and basically explore your options, you know, and stuff like that. It's so important. It's so important because when the time comes where you have to go, you can look back on your life. You can look back on your life. Whether you've accomplished anything or not, you can at least say, I tried. I tried. And if that makes you proud, it makes you, you know, feel good, that's good. It doesn't matter if you really accomplish anything. It's at least that you tried. Trying is the most important thing in life. Forget about following the crowd. Forget about all that kind of crap. Forget about the news and all that kind of crap. You did what you needed to do. You went your own way. You basically tried. I think that's the key word here. You tried. You know, most people aren't willing to try. They're willing just to sit around all the time and complain and bitch and whatever it might be, you know. And that's not the kind of attitude you should have. You know, you need to get away from all that negativity. You need to follow your own path. You need to achieve something in your life. Like I said, it's not important to be a major success or anything like that. What's really important is you need to try. Plain and simple. Try. I mean, that word is, that word is so important. You got to try. You know, Spidey tried and he became a superhero and he's doing what he wants to do and he's helping people and making people happy and stuff like that, as Superman did in these movies. You know, he tried. You know, he tried to be a good person. You know, unfortunately, he had a tragic life, like I've said before, and he ended up passing away quite some time ago. But, you know, Spidey, like I said, Spidey is a good man. You know, he's very misunderstood. You understand that? He's very misunderstood. A lot of people think, well, God, this guy's a freak because he has a suit on and he goes around thinking he can save people. You know, at least I try. You know, at least I have a dream. At least I have a, you know, like I said, a dream of trying to do something different with my life like I have in the past. You know, most people are just too lazy to do this. They're too strung up in everybody else's lives and stuff like that, and they are not willing to sit down and think about what needs to be done. You know, but they give up. They're quitters. They're basically quitters. You know, you never quit in life. You never quit in life. I've never quit in life, and I never will quit in life. Because basically, folks, life is too short. You can't quit. You can't quit. If you have a dream, try to achieve it. You know, if stuff like that. Most people are just, you know, they want to sit in front of their TV, you know, smoking, drinking, you know, getting fat, stuff like that. And all that stuff could be easily avoided by self-discipline and having some dignity about yourself and some self-esteem. You know, it all comes down to self-esteem. It basically comes down to dignity, you know, what you think you're worth, you know, what's important to you, basically, you know. To try. Try. I mean, folks, I can't emphasize that word any stronger. Try. If Spidey can do it, you can do it. You know, no matter what part of the world you live in, no matter what your situation is, try. Don't give up. Never give up. Never, never give up. That's the most important thing. I've never, you know, the thing is, there's some things I've pursued recently, and, you know, and I'm not going to give up, but, you know, I keep trying, particularly on the girl that I really liked. Of course, she hates me, you know, but at least I tried, you know. Unfortunately, you know, she doesn't have the vision to see how incredible of a man I am, you know. So, but basically, I don't want to harp about my own personal life, you know, stuff like that, you know. I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing now, but, you know, that situation is basically kind of withered out, unfortunately, on that other part with her. So basically, I got to keep trying. You know, maybe someday she will realize certain things, you know. But maybe it's brainwashed. Maybe she's been brainwashed or something. A lot of people get brainwashed. You know, they basically listen to other people, and they, you know, they just. This is one thing it really is. This kind of irks me a lot. A lot of people basically think about, they listen to other people's negativity towards other people, and then basically they get caught up in that negativity, and they start to hate that other person, you know, and they basically don't, you know, a lot of people are like sheep, basically like sheep. You know, sheep are, you know, one sheep will follow another. You know, basically, people, you know, a lot of people sit there and complain about some person they don't like working with, of course, and then they complain to other employees. And then basically what happens is pretty soon it gets spread all around that particular person is bad, you know, evil and, you know, and disgusting. And it's not true at all. You know, it's not true at all. What happened in my case particularly is not true because I'm actually a damn nice guy, you know. But, you know, I'm getting over that, you know. But I try to tell people don't follow in that type of path. Basically, make your own judgment, make your own decisions, you know, in life. And basically strive to be something. Try. How many times am I going to say that word? Try. Let's get back to Christopher Reeve. That's why Spidey doesn't smoke, drink. Well, I have a little drink, but a wine cooler. It's not really drinking. Of course, I don't use drugs, and I work out, of course, as you can see. So basically, see, I try. You know, it may not lead to anything that I'm really looking for. What I wish it would, but you know, basically, I try. You know, I guess in my own brain, at least that makes me happy that I at least attempted something, you know, and I can look back on my life and say, you know, Brad, you did a pretty damn good, oh, Brad, I mean, Spidey, you did a damn pretty good job in your life, you know, you can be proud of yourself. You can be proud of yourself, what you've accomplished, you know, be the superhero and saving the world and helping everybody that's, you know, that needs to be helped. Anyway, let's go talk about how long is this. We got to cut this one short. We're almost at 30 minutes, so basically, Christopher Reeve, check out this first movie. Great movie. All these stars are in it, and, you know. So I'm sorry about the editorial. They kind of like the editorial tonight, but basically, I want to get some points across tonight about things that you need to try in life. You know, to try to be like me, you know. I have great, you know, self-discipline, motivation, stuff like that, you know, and I think you know, I probably sleep 24 hours, I probably sleep 24 hours a day thinking about this. Even when I'm sound asleep, I'm basically thinking about this. You know, I wake up, you know, looking for something interesting to do the next day. You know, whether it's not out going web slinging, maybe going to my photography job and stuff like that, and finding, you know, new interesting things to photograph and stuff like for my newspaper I work for. So, you know, basically, we're going to end this one. I'm sure this one's going to bore the snot out of everybody. They're going to probably look at me and go, boy, what a preachy little bastard. But you know, folks, it's the truth. It's the truth. I always tell the truth and blunt, right to the point. People don't like me, but you know something? It's the truth. People, as Jack Nicholson told Tom Cruise in what's that? You can't handle the truth. And a lot of people can't handle the truth, unfortunately, and that's kind of a sad statement on today's in today's world. So we're going to end this one, and I hope you enjoyed this one. You know, if you want to bitch and complain about my editorial about how you should be a more productive citizen, feel free to complain. You know, I don't care. You know, it's basically, I tell it like it is. So, well, guys, we'll see you guys we'll see you. What should I say, guys or women? We'll see all you people next time. Okay, you have a good night and you sleep tight. Later.